Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you only thought you were doing social media and video right. Wait till you meet my next guest. He's going to blow you away. That's just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show. Well, before we get into kind of the finer points of doing social media and video the right way, tell us all your background.
I went to college for a graphic design degree, communication design specifically. Got out of that, started getting a little bit into, design world, worked at a small design firm, bounced around at a couple of different agencies. Then about, I think it was 2010, decided to start my own agency. And we ran that for about 10 years, doing full service branding, packaging, website design, your kind of full service shop, so to speak. As we were doing that, we started getting into some video production, social media management, paid social advertising. And at about the end of 2019, we decided that the full service shop kind of wasn't for us anymore. It was a lot of management, a lot of different moving parts. So we decided to take the things that we really, really enjoyed doing, video production, and pairing that with the things that were getting the highest results for our clients, which is the social media advertising side of things. And we just decided to rebrand our agency to focus specifically on those services. So now we shoot video footage and creative content specifically to distribute through social media.
Yeah, and Chris is absolutely a creative genius. We've got a sizzle reel. Let's go ahead and roll that now. Okay, so I'm blown away, Chris. I mean, you really are. You go all out, and something tells me this is born in you, right? I mean, not everybody has that creative gene.
Well, I certainly have a passion for creating. Not only that, though, when it comes to marketing and advertising, the more creative the piece, the better results you end up getting. And so it's, yes, I'm a creative at heart, and yes, we all take pride in doing high-end creative work, but there's another side to it. There's a business side to what we do too. And it's not just because we like pretty pictures or our clients like pretty pictures. We like producing content that actually gets results. And the more creative stuff, as people are thumbing through their phone and scrolling through this, vast world of content, things that actually stop the scroll, so to speak, are those pieces that capture your attention, and that tends to be on the creative side of things. So it's all about a passion for being creative and the actual real world business results that creative provides.
Well, we live in this do-it-yourself world, and I think it's spawned a lot of amateur photographers. But if you have a high-end brand and you're doing homemade videos, it really cheapens your brand, doesn't it?
It can, for sure. Now, I do believe there's a time and place, for everything. So, in this day and age, you've got to have quality content and a good quantity of content. So, if you're out and about and you want to shoot some footage of yourself, throwing off, spitballing some, nice thought leadership style content, that's good and everything. And, there's a lot of people that have been very successful at doing that. But you can't rely on that solely, so especially whenever you're trying to sell products, people have to see your product in action, being used, and especially when you're in a competitive industry, you need something that's going to get people to take notice, and then you're serving that to the right audiences as well.
Well, one of my favorite campaigns you did is for I guess it's a grease remover.
So it's an industrial hand soap
Okay.
for mechanics, industrial shops.
Sure.
Mechanics are always getting greasy and dirty, and so full bore hand scrub is an awesome product. But yeah, their audience is primarily shops and mechanics.
But it took a creative genius to come up with this campaign. Let's go ahead and roll it now.
Hey pal, don't look now, but you've got a problem on your hands with hand cleaner. Your shop hand cleaner doesn't work. It irritates your guys' hands. Not to mention you let it run out again. You gotta do something. You gotta go full bore. Full bore hand cleaner, the new detergent-based hand cleaner that's tough on grease but not on hands. Capiche? Full bore's detergent formula surrounds and lifts out the grease without drying out skin, leaving hands soft and smooth like a baby's. Yeah. Plus, Full Bore's simple auto ship feature makes resupplying a snap, even for multiple locations. No more running out, no more worries. Come on, give yourself a hand. Go full bore at your shop. Get started right now at fullboreproducts.com.
All right, hilarious. And you, if the viewer was watching, Chris made a cameo in that. So
I did, yeah.
How did you come up? I mean, did it just come to you? Did you see the whole campaign, just in one shot, or did it grow? How did you come up with it?
No, honestly, I mean, you see some of these things and you're like, oh my gosh, they must be geniuses, and it must have just been like this aha moment. But really, in order to come up with something like that, I mean, it takes research. You got to understand who your audience is, what's going to create that brand awareness. What are your competition doing? Because we don't want to do something that looks exactly like what, others, people in their space are doing. So, it's getting down and dirty, rolling your sleeves up. And to be honest with you, that is a collaborative effort between creative director, copywriter, videographers. We all collaborated to put that script together and to come up with something that's lighthearted, fun, little bit of humor there, but it's memorable, especially whenever, you're trying to launch a new brand. It just gets that brand out there in a fun, memorable way.
How long did it take to shoot that?
That was a full day shoot. So we were probably on location for 12 hours.
Wow.
We had if you notice, about halfway through the video, the guy holds up these really gnarly looking hands. Right. We had an awesome makeup artist who made his hands just look horrible. So, we had a lot of fun with that. And, but yeah, it took our crew a full day to shoot that video.
And what was it like? Because when you're shooting something, you're shooting it in little bits and pieces to show it to the client in its finished form. I mean, what was the reaction of the client?
It was great, and I'll admit, I think the client was a little bit apprehensive at first. You know, we showed him the script. He's like, I don't know, this is maybe a little bit too campy for us, like a little bit out there. But he let us run with it, and he trusted us. And when it was done, his reaction was great. And then everyone he showed it to was just, you know, once he started showing it to everyone and getting all of the positive feedback, you know, he was super, super excited.
Yeah. Well, what I liken it to is these Super Bowl ads. I mean, they're paying $6 million for 30 seconds, and those every second counts, right?
Absolutely.
So on a much smaller budget, you can accomplish the same thing through social media campaigns like yours. Yeah,
absolutely. And the one thing that people may not understand is that was a full day shoot. We also had an actual photographer there shooting still product photos with nicely arranged and designed backgrounds. And so in that one full day shoot, with all of the footage that we got, we were able to cut together 3 2.5-minute videos. We had product photography to use for static social posts, and we were able to cut footage together to run ads and post on social media for 6 to 8 months. So that one shoot got, 6 to 8 months worth of good, solid content. Not content necessarily that only was entertaining and fun, but right. I mean, we were able to double their sales within about an 8-week period when we started running ads with
double their sales. That's amazing.
Yes, and then we were also able to take those campaigns, run some Facebook ads that we were able to, that were specifically tailored to their business-to-business consumers. And once we started building that audience up in the Facebook algorithms, we ran a giveaway campaign that got 360 commercial leads in just a 10-day span.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so we only have a couple minutes left. Give a piece of advice to the person watching. I mean, how do you know when to hire a company like yours or do it yourself?
So that's a loaded question, and I get it all the time. And generally the answer is you have to be, you have to been in business for a little while to start branching out on an agency. So we usually say about $1 million in revenue, and you start looking at hiring an agency like ours. Up until that point, you can get by doing it on your own, bringing in some interns, and you kind of running it that way. But when you're really ready to get aggressive and you've got your operations dialed in and you're ready to really scale your company, that's when agency partnership is really, really valuable.
Well, I can tell you, Chris is the best of the best, and we have a friendship. And anytime we get a request, I'm sending him to Chris. He's the best. So thank you for coming on the show. We're going to end with your website. Fuelandspark.com is the website. Chris Botvidson, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate you having me. It was a blast.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.